Hello. You join me in the kitchen for the time being. Just finishing up my food before I go back upstairs. It's last time I did a live was Mansfield. I was going to do this straight after the game, but I honestly have not had time, to be honest. So I thought I'll put it out there now. And I've edited my socks off all day, guys, just for that. And how do I word it? Like, yet another monstrosity of a video. And I'm tired, to be honest with you, because I worked my fucking socks off for this entire YouTube channel just for the twat that is Plymouth Argyle Football Club to repay me in the worst way possible. So that's that. We lost again on Saturday. Only just got back at midnight last night because trains are fucking retards. Sorry, I don't mean to say that. They're twats, but you know what I mean. Delayed. I didn't get back till so late. So there we are. And that's that really. Sorry about that. No, my housemate of mine came down, so I paused the live stream there. So I finished the rest of my food while I was doing that, while that was happening. Anyways, that was fucking shit, that was, on Saturday. If anyone can't see that enough is enough, then you're a twat. Simple as that. Simple as fucking that. I'm genuinely fed up with how the football club is honestly running at this point. That's how fed up I honestly am. And it's got to a point where I don't blame Home Park in our next home game to have banners and everything. Absolutely everything. I think everyone with a brain needs to know that Tom Cleverley needs to get out of my fucking football club ASAP. Fucking ASAP. There's no other excuses whatsoever. So, there we are. The only positive from that Huddersfield game was that Marcus Harness, the fucking bastard, didn't score. I can't stand him because he's got everything to do about Pompey, that man. I'm glad he didn't score. He's the reason why I banged my head against Derby at the end of last season, because it got us relegated. We could be relegated again. It's just a joke at this point that a city of the size of Plymouth could be back in the fucking 4th tier next season to play the likes of Harrogate, Newport. Oh, I'm fed up. I'm honestly fed up. I don't blame anyone at the football club if in the game against Northampton that banners come out, protests come out. I'm heartbroken. I have no joke, fallen out of love with this football club. I've completely fallen out of love with this football club. It's like breaking up with someone. That's how fucking shit the club honestly is. That's how fucking embarrassing the club honestly is. I don't know where we can go. I don't know where we can go. We're bottom of the league for a relegated championship club. I'm going to repeat that. We're bottom of the league for a relegated championship club. Simon Hallett and the board had a 5-year plan. A 5-year fucking monstrosity of a plan to keep us in the championship for 5 years at least. 5 years at least. Looked at Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton as clubs to be inspired by, to be one of the most well-run in the country. And we're now flirting with relegation to the fucking 4th tier of English football. How low can you honestly get? How low can you honestly get? What can we do? What can we do? If you were there on Saturday and you happy clapped that at full time, but yeah, they did, Robin's Nest, you're right. They did, and then they went up the following year via the playoffs. But they didn't go down. Charlton didn't go down. Charlton's not been anywhere further than the 3rd tier. Downwards, that is. They've never been in League 2. They've never been in the 4th tier, Charlton. If you were there on Saturday and you happy clapped that at full time, I don't mean this the wrong way or anything, but I hate you. I fucking hate you. You're an idiot, you're a twat, you're a disgrace, and why are you at our football club? I don't know how there's people around me in that day at Huddersfield that claps that at full time. We're fucking bottom of League 1. We're fucking bottom of League 1. That voice crack was atrocious. There's probably more passion in me about to eat my fish cake sandwich like that than there is at the football club. And no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong, my name is question mark. I've seen us in the Championship for 8 seasons of my life. 8 seasons of my life. 6 in a row when I was a kid. And you think this is acceptable? It's not punching above their own weight. It's called the largest city in the whole of Europe failing to be back to where we should be and flirting with fucking 4th tier football, which is disgusting. We cannot repeat what Luton did these last 2 seasons. We cannot repeat what Luton did these last 2 seasons. It's actually embarrassing from football fans to even compare this to Luton. At the end of the day, Luton were in the fucking Premier League before League One. Luton were in the fucking Premier League. Aaron's a fucking Exeter fan, so you're irrelevant anyway, so fuck off. Luton were in the Premier League before League One. Luton were in the Premier League before League One. That is a bigger achievement at least. If we go down to League 2 from the Championship, meanwhile, then it's a completely different story. This same board promised us 5 years in the 2nd tier, and we're flirting with the 4th tier. When we last went down to League 2, these mind-boggling comments forget. These mind-boggling comments forget that we were in administration, insolvency, and points deductions in the 2010-11 season before we went down. If it wasn't for that, we would have stayed up. Walsall would have gone down. And then the following year, we nearly went bust. And if you're in this comment section thinking it's good for a club to go bust, then fuck off now. I don't wish it on anyone. And then we got up to League One again. Then Derek relegated us again. I can't believe there's people in our fickle fan base who want Derek Adams back. You're full of shit. He doesn't know how to run a club in League One. Derek Adams needs a National League club. I want Derek Adams at Truro, personally. I don't want him back at Argyle. At least with Truro, he would be safe for a, how do you word it? So, for a National League side. Derek Adams knows non-league off the top of his head. He's a National League border League 2 level manager. Why would there be people in our fickle fan base who want him back at Argyle? So, they're full of shit. And this guy's an idiot because how can you say if you're unhappy, start following Torquay or Exeter? We're unhappy because we're bottom of fucking League One for a Championship club. We have every right to be unhappy. Every fucking right to be unhappy. Because this club promised us to at least be battling to go straight back up to the Championship. And we're nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. I don't care what people say. I genuinely think we've turned from one of the best run clubs in the country to one of the worst run clubs in the country. I don't care. I don't care. I genuinely think we're worse run than Wednesday. I don't care what people say. Sheffield Wednesday, I know they're about to get rid of Chancery, for crying out loud. They've had their points deduction. They're starting to rebuild now. I don't care. I genuinely think we're now the worst run club in the country. With a laughing stock of the EFL. They all don't have a plan B. What can we do? What can we do? The only thing that could potentially save us is Laurent Talai's goal scoring and the January transfer window. What else can we do? What else can we fucking do? At least in the Championship, Whenever we're in the Championship, from 2004 to 2010, all these last 2 seasons, I expect it to be a hard league. There's so many big clubs there, of course. Or most of the time, I mean. I expect it to be a hard league. So the away days I expect to be harder. The home games I expect to be harder. That is the whole point. That is the whole point of progressing, is that it's meant to be harder, of course. Why do you think I gave Wayne Rooney time until that Coventry game? Because I expected games to be harder. So if people think I'm a hypocrite saying I've wanted Tom Cleverley out earlier and all that, it's because we've got a so-called Championship manager that didn't have that bad of a season with Watford, and we're back in the fucking bottom 4 after when we looked like we escaped it. We looked like we escaped it after that Luton away day. And now look where we are. What did Tom Cleverley say in his interview? What did Tom Cleverley say in his interview? Judge me by 15 games and see where we are. It's been 15 games, and look where we are, Tom. Look where we are. You fraud. We're bottom of League One. We're bottom of League One with the most defeats in the league, with the worst goal difference in the league. We're flirting with League Two football, which we shouldn't be. At the end of the day, yes, I know that sounds very arrogant. That sounds very arrogant. And how do I word it? At the end of the day, wherever you are, you deserve to be where you are. But considering how many people backed us going into this season, and the fact that we've just been relegated from the Championship, if we go down, it is an absolute non-excusable laughing-stock embarrassment. And they have to sell the fucking club. Hallett, the board, everyone. If we go down to League Two, I don't give a flying monkeys on what people honestly think. I don't give a flying cunting monkeys on what people honestly think. They have to sell the fucking club if we're back in the 4th tier. For a city the size of Plymouth. For the club the size of Argyle. And to make it even more pressure, we'd be the clear favourites in League Two next season as well. The clear favourites. So that'd be even more pressure on us going into the season. The recruitment's laughable. The manager has been laughable so far this season. The only player that hasn't been laughable is Talai. I'd rather Liam play. I'd rather Harvey play. I'd rather Harvey England play. I even rather myself manage at this point. Because we are genuinely the laughingstock of the EFL. And I disagree. Yes, they have more money than us easily, but I genuinely think we do have the money, but our board and owners won't bother to spend it. They will not bother to spend it because they're that tight. Seriously. I know I'm tight, but I have an excuse to be tight. I don't have the biggest amount of money in the world. These lot fucking own a football club, meanwhile. Levels. Absolute shit show this season's been so far. Truro's bottom of the National League and Argyle are bottom of League One. At least with Truro, I expected the National League to be so hard for us Tinners because it's Truro's first ever season in the 5th tier. And I'm obviously trying to witness the hell out of it, me being a proud Cornishman. But with Argyle, this club I have seen in the Championship for 8 seasons of my lifetime. I expect so much more and so much better. And we're fucking bottom of League One. Even the scumming twats Exeter are ahead of us. This could honestly be the darkest season in the history of my lifetime for football since 2012-13. since 2012-13. I'm not joking. I've fallen out of love with football. I've fallen out of love. Oh, all right, John Coleman. But no, I don't care. I've genuinely fallen out of love with football. I've fallen out of love with Argyle. I've fallen out of love with Plymouth. Because the way the club's run at the moment is shocking. Honestly. I mean, I don't blame you, Robin's Nest. It's only different for me because I'm a Cornishman. My dad's from Truro. My mum's from the Liscard Loo area, which is pretty much Plymouth territory. It's in the PL postcode district. And I'm as Cornish as you can get. When I was a kid, Truro were never in anywhere near the top 5 leagues. It's the closest us Cornish have is this Green Army. So there you are. It's like Southampton and Eastleigh or Newcastle and Gateshead. I don't want to talk about this story anymore. I've told this channel far many times now. But there's too many fickle people who don't seem to understand my passions for football. Anyways, about the game itself at Huddersfield, I actually didn't think in the first half we were that bad until the goal went in. The tap in that Huddersfield were 1-0 up for. And it just felt like the same story from there. And then second half we capitulated because our squad lost their heads yet again, which is once again not acceptable. I have every reason to not clap any single one of them. I have no blames on anyone who booed at full time. I don't personally boo at football games because I don't want to come across as disrespectful. But I will not fucking happy clap a terrible performance either, or the state of where our club is. So I don't blame other people for booing, to be honest, on Saturday. I don't blame them. But I will rant the fuck out of how shit something honestly is. And I will stand by that because I care. I'd do anything right now for this football club to be playing the likes of Wrexham, Ipswich, Norwich, Portsmouth, Southampton, not Sunderland because they're in the Premier League, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Derby. I'd do anything to bring that back. But the people at our football club don't fucking care. And neither do the happy clappers because they're all cunts and all want us to be back in League 2. We'll just happy clap a game because we're here for the sake of it. Fucking bunch of tourist twats. Fuck off. I'm sorry. I genuinely think we might actually be the worst run club in the country now. Wednesday are getting rescued, and I'm so happy for them. Reading's been saved. We genuinely might be the worst run club in the country now. Actually, Swindon's up there. I do feel for Swindon at the moment, although they are doing well at the moment. That's who I'd have to replace Cleverley as Holloway. That's who I'd have personally. I'd give him a second chance, to be honest. I know I didn't like the way he left when he went to Leicester in 2007, but he did come back years later and say that it was his biggest regret was leaving Argyle. I would give him a second chance. I would genuinely give him a second chance. And he knows the club off the back of his head. I feel it's the only way Argyle's season can be saved because I can't trust Cleverley. I cannot trust Cleverley at all. I've not been this angry about... Or Warnock, actually. Yeah, that's a good point, Lolo. I've not been this angry we've had for a manager since Derek relegated us in 2019. Yes, I know Foster was stressful, but at least we're in the Championship. I know Rooney was stressful, towards the end especially, when the Norwich-Bristol City games happened. Coventry game happened, but we were in the Championship. Honestly, I don't want Tom. No disrespect to him, but I do not want Tom managing my football club at all. And there's been so many games this season, like Peterborough, like Leyton Orient, like Mansfield, like Huddersfield, where I'm going to be honest, no disrespect to all four of them, but they weren't even that good when playing us. We were that shit. That's the difference. We were that shit. I really don't know where we can go from here. If the clubs had brains, I would get rid of Cleverley tonight. I would get rid of Cleverley tonight. I'm going to Bristol Rovers tomorrow for the Papa John's game, the Virtue game. There will be a video on it. I will not stand for any happy clappers tomorrow night if tomorrow's another shit performance. Seriously. Seriously. And if you don't like me for saying that, that's your call for being a tourist. So that pretty much wraps up the live. I loved the Holloway era. I'll do anything to bring it back. The Holloway era, the Paul Sturrock era. They were the days. They were the days. So there you are. That pretty much wraps up my live reaction of Huddersfield. My video is out now, by the way, if anyone wants to watch yet another meltdown. Are you on about Liam Rosinia, Haribo? Are you on about Liam Rosinia? I take him, but I'm pretty sure he's still managing Strasbourg in France. That's the only thing. Yeah, I thought you were on about Liam Rosinia. I take him in a heartbeat, but I think he's still managing Strasbourg. I can't believe how this season's honestly gone so far. When last season ended, yes, I was obviously pissed with relegation, obviously, but I was confident and happy with how the club was going at the end of the season, with Miron Muslic, with the players we had. I thought we were going to bounce immediately straight back, and we were playing some really good football at the end of last season with Muslic. We really were. We had to win 2 more home games, and we would have stayed up. We had to win 2 more home games last season, and we would have stayed up. And the 2 games I'm looking at, or 3 games I was looking at, were Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday, and Derby. The 1-1 against Cardiff, the 3-0 defeat to Sheffield Wednesday, and the 3-2 defeat to Derby. They costed our season. We had to win those 3 games, and we would still be in the Championship right now. We had to win those 3 games, and we'd still be in the second tier of football right now. Regardless if we were the favourites of being relegated from the Championship this season. I'd have that any day right now than being the laughingstock in League One and being beaten 2-0 by fucking Exeter. Well, I hope you don't have nightmares about the National League, fella. I do at the moment, mate, though, as well, because Truro's bottom of the National League. It's been an awful season so far. It's been an awful season for me so far. So, yeah, I need a miracle for it to be turned around. Really do, really do. Starting at Port Vale in the league. El Shitico, 23rd versus 24th. 23rd versus 24th. And Vale have the worst home form in the league. If we lose that, then the board need to wake the fuck up and do their job and sack Cleverley. But they won't. I'm worried they won't. What makes this season even worse is that players that left us in the summer, like Maxi Talavierov and Ryan Hardy, they're not even getting game time. They're not even getting game time for their new clubs, Wrexham and Stoke. You just question that, going, why the fuck did they leave? Oh yeah, because some idiot decided to put some idiots in the football club, whoever it is, I don't care, but some idiots decided to put release clauses on them. And now they're doing fuck all for their new clubs. I'm pissed. Looking at it now, the only one I could get behind, no matter how much I hated the move, was Randall. Because, to be fair to Randall, he's doing really well at Bristol City at the moment. I don't know where we can go from here. I really hope this is a massive overreacting meltdown and we're mid-table come end of May. But even then, even if we do finish mid-table, and I agree, we do need to recall Callum Wright. That's first thing we got to do in January. What was I going to say? Even if we finish mid-table come May, it's still a shocking season for the football club, no matter what. No matter fucking what. Like I said, we have no excuses to go down this season. None at all. We did in 2010-11. We don't this season. It's a joke. It's a disgrace. It's a laughing stock. And I am genuinely rapidly falling out of love with football because there seems to be no fucker who cares about this part of Devon and the whole of Cornwall. And it fucking makes my blood boil. I can't believe there were 3 happy clappers in front of me after the Huddersfield game at full time. Wankers, the lot of them. Wankers. I expressed my utter frustrations after that third goal that we conceded. And some twat in front of me calls me a prick for not getting behind the club. I am getting behind the club, but they're doing fuck all for us fans. What can us fans do? See you all in the next one. I am genuinely... I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather do anything of another hobby right now than think of Plymouth Argyle Football Club. Because the way this club treats our fans is utter garbage. See you all in the next live. My Huddersfield video is out now if you want to watch yet another meltdown. Before I go, let me just look at Adam's comment. Sorry to ask this as an Exeter fan. Where has it gone wrong? You need to get rid of Cleverley now. I agree. I never thought I'd agree with a Grecian, but there we are. We'll see you all in the next live. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy my Huddersfield video. I certainly didn't. Oh, also, before I go, sorry. There's a neutral game that me and the lads went to on Sunday. I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want to spoil it for you all. But you will enjoy it. Anyways, see you all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.